I'm Matt Jones. I'm a PhD student from Oxford with the Genetic Maps group. So what we've basically done is used genetic information from over 600,000 positions in the genome from over 2,000 participants across the UK to create a map of the genetic variation across the British Isles. So we essentially group people according to their genetic similarities, irrespective of their geographic location. And then we went back and plotted those genetic groups on the map of the UK. And you can actually see that there's a lot of overlap between the two. So, for instance, we can see like a clear division between Cornwall and Devon. Those are two genetically distinct populations, even though they live in a very close proximity to each other. And we can also use this data to kind of chart the influx of new populations into the British Isles over the years, all the migrations and conquests that have happened. We've been able to integrate what we already know about the genetic makeup of European populations. But we are collaborating with an archaeologist, and he's keen on kind of, trying to figure out what's happened to the Celts after the Roman invasion, or the Saxons after the Norman invasion, for instance. And I think that we've seen so far that there's been a lot more intermingling than was initially supposed. So, who knows what else might come out of that. And so what we're trying to do in the future is associate this genetic variation with variation in facial features. So all of our participants in our study, we're now taking three-dimensional images of their face and looking at certain points like tip of the nose and bridge of the nose to kind of quantify the features and then associate that back to the genetic data we've taken. And hopefully we'll be able to find some associations between a certain genetic signature and a certain facial makeup as well.
So my name is Eric Liu. I'm a PhD student at University of Oxford. So over here we're just trying to demonstrate very simply some very simple genes being able to control some very simple traits. So we got two examples. We have whether you can roll your tongue, and also whether you can taste this chemical called PTC. It's harmless, totally harmless chemical we found in the plant. So this is what we're trying to achieve. We have obtained a large sample of genetic information from many people. And so we're also measuring these outward expressing features, like whether you can roll your tongue, whether you can taste the chemical. Of course, we've got more complicated features we're examining, like facial patterns, so we can understand the underlying biology. So what genes controls what particular feature, and hopefully from that we can find out more about sort of diseases, just the general physiology of the body. It's what we're trying to achieve. I think we're really advancing forward. We got a huge amount of information, but trying to make sense of the information. I mean, from that, we have 600,000 different unique spots, hotspots we're looking at. How to make sense of all of that and relate that to the features. That's an enormous task. And I mean, this is simple yes or no. If you look at the face, that's more complicated, like shape of the nose. What we can measure over there, sort of the tiltedness of your nose, width of the nose, a whole lot of other things like that. Trying to understand the underlying biology. It's quite a really phenomenal kind of research that we're trying to do.